Ship-to-ship bunkering is a vital maritime operation. It allows one vessel to transfer fuel to another while both are at sea. This process helps ships save a great deal of time. They do not need to enter a busy port just for fuel. This also saves money on expensive port fees and charges. However, this convenience comes with significant risks. Refueling on the open water is not a simple task. It requires careful coordination and strict adherence to safety protocols to prevent accidents. Any mistake can have very serious consequences for the crew, the vessels, the marine environment. The main problem with STS bunkering is the potential for danger. Two large ships are brought very close together in open water. This creates a risk of collision, especially in changing weather conditions. The transfer of flammable fuel introduces a major fire hazard. A small spark could lead to a catastrophic explosion. Furthermore, there is always the risk of a fuel spill. A hose could break, or a connection could fail. A spill pollutes the ocean, harms marine life, and results in heavy fines for the shipping companies involved. Because of these dangers, every step of the process must be meticulously planned and executed with extreme care. Preparation is the most critical phase of ship-to-ship bunkering. Preparation is the most critical phase of ship-to-ship bunkering. Preparation is the most critical phase of ship-to-ship bunkering. The foundation of a safe transfer is the bunkering plan. The captain of the receiving vessel and the person in charge of the bunker barge must agree on this document. It details the exact location for the transfer. It details the amount and type of fuel. It details the pumping rate. The plan also specifies the communication channels that will be used. Crucially, it includes a checklist for all safety procedures. This shared agreement ensures both crews are working from the same set of instructions, which helps to prevent misunderstandings and errors during the operation. Each ship has specific roles for its crew members. The person in charge, on the delivering vessel, holds the main responsibility. The person in charge, on the receiving vessel, holds the main responsibility. They oversee the entire operation from start to finish. They give the final approval to begin pumping. They are the only ones who can order it to stop. Other crew members are assigned to watch the mooring lines that hold the ships together. Some are tasked with monitoring the bunker hose for any signs of leaks or stress. Another team stands by with firefighting and oil spill response equipment, ready to act in an instant if an emergency arises. Everyone must know their job and perform it diligently. Equipment checks are a non-negotiable part of the preparation. The bunker hoses are checked for cracks, bulges, or any other damage. The hose connections and gaskets are examined to ensure a tight seal. All valves and pumps are tested to confirm they are working correctly. Once preparations are complete, the operation begins with the two ships approaching each other. This maneuver is done slowly and cautiously. The vessels come alongside in a parallel position. Large, robust objects called fenders are placed between the hulls. These fenders act as cushions, absorbing any impact. They prevent the steel hulls from grinding against each other. Once the ships are in position, strong mooring lines are passed between them and secured tightly. These lines hold the vessels together. They must be constantly monitored and adjusted for movement in the water. Skilled seamanship is required to keep the ships safely connected. With the vessels securely moored, the bunker hose is connected. The crew on the bunker barge lifts the heavy hose and passes it to the receiving ship. The receiving crew connects it to their fuel intake manifold. The hose connection is the most likely point for a leak and must be secured with care. Once bolted firmly in place, teams on both ships conduct a final check. They verify all valves are in the correct position. They ensure communication lines are open. The person in charge on each vessel gives final confirmation they are ready. Only then is permission granted to start the pumps. Before the full transfer begins, the fuel must be tested. A small amount of fuel is pumped, and a sample is taken from the line. The receiving crew checks the sample for quality. They look for contaminants, water. They look for contaminants, sediment. They look for contaminants, Incorrect fuel type. Bad fuel can cause catastrophic engine damage. If the sample fails, the entire delivery is rejected. If the sample passes, it is sealed and kept as a legal record. This protects the receiving ship from engine problems and disputes later on. During the transfer, the fuel flows at a steady, pre-agreed rate. Pumping too fast increases pressure on the hose and risk of rupture. Crew are stationed along the deck watching hose and mooring lines. They look for any sign of a leak, no matter how small. They also watch the gap between the ships. Communication between the two PICs is continuous. They update each other on fuel transferred. They confirm everything proceeds according to plan. Constant vigilance is essential to spot a problem before it becomes major. Safety is the highest priority throughout the entire bunkering process. All crew members on deck must wear personal protective equipment, PPE. Hard hat, steel-toed boots, safety glasses, a life vest. Smoking and any other activity that could create a spark are strictly forbidden in the bunkering area. Firefighting equipment is kept charged and ready for immediate use. Hoses, foam applicators. An oil spill response kit is placed near the hose connection. Absorbent pads, booms. These precautions are not just suggestions. They are strict rules that must be followed to protect the crew and the environment. Emergency procedures are a key part of the safety plan. If a leak is spotted, shout, "Stop, stop, stop," and immediately signal to stop the pumps. This quick action minimizes the amount of fuel spilled. If a fire breaks out, sound the ship's general alarm. The designated fire team will use foam to smother the flames, as water can spread a fuel fire. In a worst-case scenario, such as a broken mooring line in bad weather, an emergency breakaway procedure is followed. This involves using a special axe or a quick-release mechanism to sever the lines and hose so the ships can separate quickly. International and local laws, such as the MARPOL Convention, govern the prevention of pollution from ships. Any oil spill, even a small one, must be reported to the coastal authorities immediately. The crew must make every effort to contain the spill using floating booms and clean it up with absorbent materials. Failing to follow these rules can lead to enormous fines, criminal charges against the ship's officers, and significant damage to the company's reputation. Responsible bunkering means protecting the oceans, which are the lifeblood of the shipping industry. After the agreed amount of fuel has been transferred, the pumps are stopped. The crews then carefully drain the hose before disconnecting it. The hose is lifted back to the bunker barge, and the mooring lines are released in a planned sequence. Both ships confirm that the operation is complete and all gear is stowed securely. The final step is to complete the paperwork. The PICs sign the bunker delivery note, which confirms the quantity and type of fuel received. This documentation, along with the sealed fuel sample, serves as the official record of the transaction. In summary, successful STS bunkering depends on following a clear plan, prioritizing safety, and maintaining clear communication from start to finish.